Anniversary of Damar Hamlin's collapse, and he is set to return to Paycor Stadium this weekend.
And since that pivotal moment, his injury and recovery has sparked a movement here in Cincinnati and also all across the country.
Yeah, Ashley Smith spoke about some of the people who helped save his life. And you know, I'm glad we got the opportunity to do this, Ashley, because at the time we couldn't get enough of it, and it just kind of like fell to the wayside for a little bit.
Yeah, absolutely. And they are still heroes, of course, in a lot of our eyes. Most of us remember that day, whether we were there or we watched it on TV. But it's probably the days that followed that we remember the most. Seeing Damar recover and eventually play football again. The care team says his return to Paycor Stadium is all because of that early intervention right here in Cincinnati.
We always prepare every game for something like this to happen and hope that it never does, but then it did.
Woods Curry and Brian Reed were both working the Bengals game as part of the medical team for UC Health when Damar Hamlin collapsed 10 months ago. Reed remembers when they heard the all-call announcement.
And I distinctly remember, I looked at my partner and I'm like, they don't normally say that. So we knew right away it was going to be something serious.
The amount of time from when he fell to the time that we were at his head was 60 seconds. And then time from my recollection of time from collapse to time to in the ambulance was about 10 minutes. If you had told me it had been 10,000 years, I would have believed you.
Once Hamlin was in the ambulance, Kylie Ham was one of the members of the care team at UC Medical Center to take over the life-saving measures. Did you feel extra pressure because you knew this was an NFL player?
Yeah, I felt extra pressure for that, and then just the amount of I had a anticipation that there would probably be a lot more attention on this.
I think the gravity of the whole thing kind of started to hit after we knew we'd gotten him safely out of the stadium. Up until that point, you're in your job, right? You're just doing kind of the routine reps, things you do all the time, certainly in an unusual situation, in an unusual setting.
Hamlin not only survived that night, he only spent a week at UCMC and has recovered enough to be able to play Sunday night right here in Cincinnati at Paycor Stadium.
Early defibrillation and bystander CPR is what resulted in Damar doing as well as he did. It is awesome and fantastic that we're going to have Damar back playing in town this week, and I'm super proud of that. And if we can save one kid's life on a high school football field or a soccer field or a basketball court, and I think it's just like an exponential effect or impact from this event.
I asked Woods, how do you perform that CPR or use an AED on a loved one when you're emotionally involved? And he said performing those actions cannot hurt that loved one. Also, the AED will not shock a person that does not need that shock. Now, he recommends becoming familiar with an AED prior to use, but you don't have to for them to be successful. And I asked them, guys, I said, did you ever think that he was not going to make it? And they all said, no, we knew he would make it. We didn't know he would recover as well as he did. Part of that, his age, and of course, he was in peak physical condition.
So many of these companies, our company included, we have AED now, right? A lot of them
Change
do.
things, yeah.
However, how many people actually know to use it, how to do it, how to even open the case, how to get it, how to turn it on, how to do it? And because as he just said, all those seconds matter.
Yeah, and he said, he referenced those high school sports, and a lot of those sports teams have an AED. Where is it? Sometimes it's inside of the school,
right,
in someone's office.
Yep.
He said, you've got to have it at the field of play. That is really what made that big difference. And look, we remember all this, these guys getting so emotional, and they said they remember that. They remember these people surrounding them being emotional because they want their friend and teammate to survive. And, it's amazing the positive outcome that came from this.
Yep.
10,000 years. I believe it felt like that.
Yeah.
I loved hearing from them, Ashley. That was a great job because I think about that all the time and the chaos that was on that field as we were covering it. That's a great story.
Imagine how nervous they were. And
unbelievable.
Excellent job.
Yeah, great job. Take you outside, Chili.